The final round of the Tata Steel Masters 2023 and maybe one of the most important rounds in the career of Anish Giri because this was the round that would help him to maybe win the tournament. Anish, playing with the white pieces, goes 1e4 and in this must-win situation he decides to play the open Sicilian. A good decision because that will lead to fighting chess. Sicilian Classical, played by Rapport, and Anish goes for the Richter rouser with bishop g5. Now the main move here is e6, but Rapport is inspired by Daniel Dubov who will place this line a lot with g6. Engines don't prefer it, but I think humanly it is a playable variation. Anish seemed to be pretty decently prepared. He went bishop b5, bishop d7, and now he played his bishop back to c4. This is inspired by a game between Swidler and Dubov in which the same move order was played. Bishop went to g7. Knight takes c6 and now you can't take with the pawn because d6 is hanging. So you must take with the bishop. Now the d6 pawn is weak, the d5 square is weak, but in return what black gets is the bishop pair and one move that black is really looking forward to in this position is f5. If he can engineer that well, then he would be doing okay. So that's the reason why Anish castles and very important move here played. Queen d3, knight d5 was played in that Swidler vs Dubov game, which was kind of an online blitz event, but he played qd3, which is a better move. Rook c8 played and now he goes knight to d5. Notice that if you are not careful and play rook d1 just, which is very natural, you want to attack this pawn on d6. Then black gets what he's waiting for, gets the move f5. Opening up the bishop e takes f5 and now bishop c3. Spoils the structure and black is doing pretty well after queen g5. He played knight d5 and now came rook e8 c3. This is a granite structure against this bishop on g7 bishop went back to d7 bishop b5. Offering a trade. Bishop c6, now you don't want to trade because then the pawn takes and the knight would be kicked. So he went back. Rook e1 f5 very good move because now this is exactly what black was waiting for. Bishop went back f4, rook e4, bishop f5, rook takes e8, queen takes e8 and queen d2. So we come to this position. There are a lot of imbalances. Black has the bishop pair, but white has this very strong knight on d5. This is very important and also the structure is in white's favor because the bishop is slightly passive on g7. But black has a lot of possibilities. One of them is to start queenside play with a5 b5 b4 and it should be possible to kind of hold the balance here. Threat is for now rook e1. And knight e7. So that's the reason why Richard goes bishop e6. Rook d1 queen d7 h3 b5 was played here. And now came queen to f4, rook to c5. And knight went to e3. It was possible to play 9 f6 check, but after take rook e5, black is doing very well so that's the reason why he went knight e3 bishop e5. Queen e4, king g7 and now f4 well, I think Anish missed a good opportunity here because he could have captured on e6, and the point to note here is that if you play f6 then knight g4 already creates some with queen e3 and the dark squares are weak. And if you take with the queen then I go f4. And after bishop f6 I take and take the pawn on d6 with the winning position. So that's the reason why bishop e6 was more accurate. He went f4, bishop went back and now if you take fe6 knight g4, there is rook c4, queen e3. Even this was playable and pretty good for white, but Anish became quite ambitious at this point, which is not usually his style of play, but there you go, he goes g4 and now is going all in it seems. h6 played. By the way, a very, interesting line here is a5. Take and white has a very strong move now. g5. Bishop e7 and what do? Check king here and take. And there's a pin. So that's the point. This is a very nice tactical possibility. So h6 was played and here Anish could have used that same tactical possibility and played bishop e6 f6, because if you take with the queen, then I take the queen and d6 hangs. So f6 and this nice move h4, because if you take with the bishop, then I have again that same concept of queen d4 and queen takes c5 with this pin here. It's still playable like king f7 g5, bishop g7 when black is still fighting, but this could have been the best way. He went bishop d5 and this allowed takes and rook c4. When black is now once again back in the game after queen e6, Anish pushed forward with f5 gf and now played knight f4. Here Richard Rapport had a chance, and I think a very nice one, to sacrifice his exchange with rook f4, queen f4, queen a2 attacking b2, and once b2 goes, c3 would also fall. He went queen e5, which is fine, knight here, and now if he had gone king g8. Yes, it does look a bit scary after this check, but after king h7, queen here, king g6, it seems like black is holding its own here. However, Richard simply blundered with king g6. That was a massive mistake, and now came a very nice move by Anish. Tried to find it white to play, and I think Richard had missed it completely. Yes, it's just a one more trick. Just rook takes on d6, and Anish checked and rechecked and made sure this worked, and he managed to make it work, and after queen takes d6, queen f5 is a mate, so he had to play king g5 here. Now Anish once again found the best move, rook to d5. There was rook f6 possible, but then check, and somehow there's still some fight left. But instead rook d5 was just very clinical, check, king g2 f5 is falling, took if king g6. Now that is rook f6, and even that is game over. So he played king h4, and now after queen g3 check, Rapport resigned, because I mean you can take here, but after knight g3 there is rook h5 check and b5 is falling and all of that. And so he resigned the game with this. Anish Giri not only won this game but also his countrymate Jordan Van Forest managed to beat Abdu Satarav, which means Anish was the undisputed champion. He won the tournament with 8.5 out of 13, which is phenomenal. With that, we will end this video. A huge congratulations to Anish Giri. Thank you for watching my first YouTube video. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more chess content in the future. I am looking forward to sharing my love for this game with all of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, keep playing and improving your chess skills. Bye.